Well, Savannah, the fire sacrifice worked for a game. That was cool. That was fun. Stars lose 1-0 last night in Columbus. Didn't have fun. Didn't have fun with that game. I'm your host, Stunstream, joined always on Fridays by Savannah. Hugh Moeller, how are we doing this morning?
We could be better. We could have a Stars win. They had a lot of chances last night against the Blue Jackets, however, falling short 1-0. The fire sacrifices, you did it. You've been there, you did it, you put yourself out there, you tried. We'll just see if it can maybe catch on here, hopefully, with the games that they have remaining before the break.
Look, I know last Friday I said, well, we're just going to start a 4-game win streak here, boys. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. We're just going to start a 4-game win streak. And then we lost to Tampa. And then we beat the hell out of Boston. I was like, all right, here comes the streak. I'll settle for 3 out of 4. Can we just beat the Blues twice and have 3 out of 4 wins? That'd be great. Then the fire sacrifice might have worked. I don't know.
Something needs to catch. I'm not sure exactly what. I think it's just the Stars executing and getting the puck into the net. The chances are there. They're shooting the puck. They've been shooting the puck pretty well, I would say, in the last few games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting a goal. That's what we're missing right now.
Yeah.
They did well against Boston.
Yeah.
6. That was a big statement game.
That was fun.
But I have a very interesting statistic for you, Stone.
Okay, I'm ready.
So 9 goals in their last 137 shots. So 6 of those goals came specifically just in that Boston game.
I didn't
137 shots. Sorry.
I didn't need to hear that this morning. It's not good. I'm also a Mavericks fan, and the Mavericks won last night on national television. They were on Prime Video last night. They beat the Warriors, and I was like, man, this is good. And I was watching the Stars on the TV, had the Mavs on the laptop. I was like, this is bad. This is good. Like every time I look up, bad. Every time I look down, good. Like it was. I'd trade the Mavericks season for a good Star season. The Mavericks aren't going anywhere, and Cooper Flag's a rookie, so I can just throw them away for an entire season, just in hopes that the good stuff happens to the Stars. And it didn't happen that way. It hasn't been happening that way for a month now. And I don't know if I can do another fire sacrifice. I don't have any more rally towels that I'm willing to burn. I don't have someone suggested a Mikko Rantanen Avs jersey. And I burned that. And I was like, that'd be great if someone sent me one, because I'm not going to buy one.
Expensive. Yeah.
Right.
They're very expensive.
So if any angry Avalanche fans want to send me a Mikko Rantanen jersey that they do not want anymore, and they're okay with me burning it because they might want to burn it themselves, I would love to burn that as a fire sacrifice.
Okay. Well, we'll throw that theory out there. I'll start working on any future ideas if we can maybe turn the Stars season into a positive here.
Yeah.
But something has got to give. Something has got to give here before this break. If not, and I keep saying this, talk to me in March. That's when everything really starts to kick in and matters. But it is not fun seeing the Stars drop down to that 3rd spot in the division, the Minnesota Wild jump into that 2nd spot. And, it's just a little rocky right now.
Yeah, it's strange. So Zach Werenski, obviously one of the best D-men in the world, not just in this country or in this league. He's one of the best in the world. Norris Trophy candidate if Cale Makar doesn't exist. Scores that goal with 8:48 into the first period, and it was a sick goal. It was a completely shielded goal by 6 bodies in front, basically. Casey DeSmith had no idea where that puck was. But other than that, Casey was great. He actually, I think, was probably the best part of the Stars last night. Is like he was pretty dialed in. All the high danger stuff, all the defensive lapses. He was stellar last night, and he gave you a shot to go to overtime, get a win in regulation. That was 8:48 into the game, and there was 0 goals after that scored by either team.
Yeah, no, Casey DeSmith did a fantastic job, and specifically on that goal with Werenski, Casey had no way of seeing that. And then Nils Lundqvist, who was right there, he was also just in an area where he couldn't have blocked that shot, and he was just in a weird space.
Yeah.
And there was nothing that you could have really done. But Werenski just is insane. Like, he's the second scoring defenseman in the league right now. He's right behind Cal McCarr. And then he can see things from a distance. And there was enough space right there to where he could shoot the puck and it went in, and Casey couldn't do anything. But other than that, I think Casey had a fantastic game too. I think the Stars had a really good game for the most part. The amount of shots that they had, they were fighting for it on offense. You saw a lot of shots where it hit the post, and they just couldn't find that rhythm of where they could get the goal in. And you saw, I mean, they had 2 power play opportunities. It's obviously a little bit different not having Mikko Rantanen out there. That could play into effect as well. But, I'm just not really sure why there's no finish at the end.
Yeah, that first, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes of the game was like, oh, we're playing this type of hockey tonight. Turnovers at the blue line, giveaways at the blue line, takeaways at the blue line. It was just neither team could get into the offensive zone for more than like 3 to 5 seconds at a time. So it was one of those games to start off. There was a few icings. There's a lot of whistles at the first 3 minutes. It was kind of gross to start. And I was just like, we're in a slog fest right now. It's going to be one of those nights. And Columbus is one of those teams. And obviously with their new coach, Rick Bowness, we're very familiar with that. Hey, that was the most Rick Bowness game of all time is all I can drum that one up to. It's just like a team with a 1-0 lead in the third period for 20 minutes, just locking it down. That's what Rick Bowness did. And obviously the Stars had numerous of chances. I think earlier in the game, there was a leaky puck that came out to the left side, and Lyubushkin is the guy there to throw a little one-timer on it. And that's not the guy you want. Like, you want Mikko Rantanen, Jason Robertson, Rope Hintz, Wyatt Johnson. One of those guys. One of the forwards would have been great just to have him right there. Not faulting Lyubushkin. He's a good defender. He's just not the sharpshooter that you needed right there. Obviously, Ristkovian hits the crossbar there with, a minute and a half left. Robo hit the outside of the post on an absolute rip on a 3-on-2. That was fun. Wyatt Johnson, I think, hit the post. Like, a lot of posts. 28 shots on goal. The thing that's been standing out to me in the last month and change is really since Liam Bichel went out. The team doesn't hit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
It's. I believe it was. I'll have to double check. 37 hits on
35 to 7.
Yeah, 35 to 7 on the Stars last night. But that does mean obviously that Columbus was chasing the puck a little bit more. The Stars definitely had more possession in that sense, but that 1% mentality that Glenn Gulletson started the season with, we need everybody to be 1% more physical out there. We need everybody to be 1% better. I haven't really seen a lot of that physicality from the Stars in the last 3 weeks. And it does obviously play into the fact that we don't have Liam Bichel there, but you would think that you would see maybe a few other guys getting a little bit more physical. You see that from Nathan Bastian a little bit. You see that from Jamie Benn from time to time. I've seen Robo get in there quite a bit, but it's just not there as far as some of your defensemen go. I don't really see that from that group outside of Liam Bichel, who hasn't been around in quite some time now.
Yeah, the good news is Liam Bichel is on his way back. I would assume that we see him next week, by the end of next week, maybe the last game. Did you know that Liam Bichel still leads the team in hits, and he hasn't played in over a month?
I do know that. So that's not a great statistic for the Stars at all. I'm not even sure who has been getting close to that number.
I have no idea.
As far as the hits go, we'll look that up, but it's not ideal for the Stars. And if you're missing a big piece of your defenseman group, somebody else needs to step in and have that conversation. Why are we not being a little bit more physical on the ice? Because it was there in the fall.
But we saw it against Boston too. I think in Boston, they were winning puck battles. They were much more physical. There was a lot of hits that didn't count towards the hit total on the statistics, obviously, but there was a lot of hits in that Boston game, and you were winning you won that game 6-2, and there was a lot of hits, and you had the lead 2-0 in the first period, 4-0 in the second period, and then you win 6-2 in the third period. Like, they were completely physical on Tuesday night, and then last night they weren't. I'm just like, I'm confused as to see this thing happen. This thing works. Being physical, winning puck battles, energy, all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, the next game, that's just not there anymore. That's why I'm just confused. It's because like you saw what worked, and then you didn't do that, and obviously you lose 1-0.
Well, luckily for the Stars, now they're going to focus tonight, obviously, on the St. Louis Blues game, but it's their last back-to-back of this January stretch, which you have a ton of road games, only 4 home games, but you had 3 back-to-backs in this stretch just in January. So this is their end of the back-to-back. We'll see what they can kind of do, but I have to tell you, my favorite player right now on this Dallas Stars roster, Justin Ritzkowian. Like, are you kidding me? The rookie, he's been insane. And the contract signing this month, extremely well deserved. But him having the 3-point night that he did against Boston, his first multi-point game in his career, a goal, 2 assists. He's been unbelievable. Even last night against Columbus, he was trying. He was out there. He brings a lot of energy to that offense, and I really like watching him play.
Did you see Sam's article earlier this week? It's time for Ritzy to get up on the top line and replace Sam Steele.
I saw a little bit of it, yes.
Yeah. So I'm all for that. If obviously we can get Mikko Rantanen back, and then you throw Ritzy up there on the left wing, or maybe even throw him on center and you put Mikko on the left wing, which is not his natural position, but he is a lefty. Like, maybe we just do it that way. I don't know. I'm just messing around. We'll just see what happens. But I would love to see Ritzy up on the top line with Mikko and Wyatt. That'd just be a lot of fun for me.
It would be so much fun. I think give him the chance. Now's the time for adjustments. When we have talked to Glenn Gulletson in the last week, I went to one of his press conferences before the Tampa Bay game, and he was saying adjustments right now, not a lot of teams are making adjustments. Everyone needs to try and find their game because you're getting into that stretch of the season where you have to just execute where you're at. And I believe some of those adjustments still need to be made for the Stars. Maybe having Ritzy up there on the top line, move things around. You have a lot of pieces of the puzzle where you need to find where they fit. Maybe he could be a fit on that top line. So it could be fun. Try it out. Who knows?
Yeah, it's that left wing position on the top line, and it's Matt Duchene's line. It's just like we need to figure out what those two things need to look like heading into the playoffs in April. If they can figure that out between now and April, then I think this team's going to be just fine. Obviously, I think last season the Stars through 50 games, they had 65 points.
Okay, yes.
They had 65 points through 50 games this year. It's the same team. It looks different. They've scored more goals this year, but they've let in more goals. So the defense and the penalty kill are a little bit worse than they were under Pete DeBoer last year, but the power play is significantly up, and the goals are up by, I think, over 20 through 50 games this year than what they were last year, and through 50 games where they scored over 100 points in the standings. They went to the Western Conference Finals for the 3rd straight time. Like, really good team. This is also a really good team. We just can't lose sight of that. We're still a really good team. We just started off really hot, and we've had a bad month, and things can turn around pretty quick.
Hey, and you know what? You have, I believe, 5 or 6 games left until the Olympic break. You get through some of those games. You have a couple divisional matchups in there, important games, I would say. Get into a good spot right before this break ends. Get a few more wins under your belt, and then things are going to ramp up very rapidly come March. But yes, there are a couple line things that you have to look at. Matt Duchene is a big question mark. He needs somebody on the line with him that's a shooter that he can pass to, has a lot of chemistry with. And yes, you need your key guys up there on that top line. So I think there's a couple adjustments in that top 6. And then we've talked about trade season, what that could look like. We're not entirely sure, but there may be some moves to be made before that deadline.
Yeah, there's no way in hell Jim Nill's not making a move. That guy's got to get his 4th straight GM of the Year award. They're going to have to rename it the Jim Nill Award.
I agree. That'd be awesome. They should do it. It should already be happening.
Would be fantastic. Like you said, there's 6 games before the break. There's 3 home games, 3 road games. So split right down the middle. Obviously, they go on a road trip next week with the Blues, Vegas, and Utah. They've got the Blues tonight in AAC. If you see Savannah in AAC tonight, just tell her hello. But we've got this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead right here. Hopefully Mikko's back tonight. That is the word on the street. We'll find out around probably 5:45 p.m. is when Glenn is going to do his availability day. There is no morning skate. We'll find out if Miko's back from his illness, flu, whatever it is. Been super sick for the last 2 games, and we'll see if he's back. But we're giving away that Miko Rantanen bobblehead at 250 subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube at Clean Sheet Advice. We're at like 194 right now, so we're creeping up. We're getting close. We're going to throw in a Miko's Apple Orchard shirt with that Miko Rantanen bobblehead. Once we hit 250 subscribers, you got to enter. Once we hit 250, just make sure you keep listening to the pods. You'll be able to find out how to enter. Hit that subscribe button where we get audio platforms as well, like Apple and Spotify. We've got video on Spotify too. Thanks for tuning in all season long, all last season long. We've enjoyed all the Clean Sheet Advice viewers and listeners. Big fans of you guys, and we're glad that you're fans of us. With this Blues game, though, 7 p.m., the ice storm is coming.
I know.
I think it's going to happen overnight or into the morning on Saturday. So if you are going to the game, I would just be aware of the weather, depending on how far you got to drive and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going. I'm going to take tonight off. I'm going to watch at home. But I'm not scared of the snow. I'll go out. Maybe if we lose tonight, I'll just go sit in the snow in like a pair of shorts and nothing else for like 5 minutes or something.
You know what was funny yesterday? I had seen some pictures of people putting their backyards. They're building out a little mini ice rink where they put the hose in and they have the tarp and then they're waiting for it to freeze over. So not sure if any of our viewers are watching, if they have any ideas to do that, but today might be the day to do that if you want to have a little mini outdoor ice rink in the back. Just saying.
That'd be fun. I don't have a pair of skates, so like I'm not going to do that because it'd just be kind of stupid for me to do it. But I'm all for that. If you live near me, just let me know. I'd love to come over and skate one day. That'd be cool if we do that. If it gets that cold, I think it's going to get that cold.
I think it'll get that cold. I'll be staying in rest of the weekend, but obviously tonight, I don't think it's going to happen until the early hours of Saturday morning. But we will have the Stars taking on the St. Louis Blues tonight. The Blues, they have had, I feel like, a weird season. Their top goal scorer, 12 goals. So when you really think about it, look at Jason Robertson, who has 29 goals.
Yep.
And you go down to the Blues, it's their top goal scorer has 12 goals. So it's definitely been a little interesting. I believe Thomas, their other guy who's leading in assists, I believe he's out right now. So it should kind of be an interesting matchup for the Stars. Jordan Binnington, who's supposed to be your starting goalie almost for Team Canada potentially. He's definitely had a little rocky of a time recently. So there are some, I think, positives for the Stars in this upcoming game tonight.
Yeah. It's interesting because last year, obviously, the Blues were, 1.7 seconds away from advancing to round 2 and playing whoever they were going to play in round 2. I can't remember if it was going to be, would it have been us?
It was.
I think it would have been us, right?
They played Winnipeg. Yeah.
In round 1, so they would have played us in round 2, which was more fun for travel for a lot of our press box companions. But I don't know if it would have. I guess it would have been okay in round 2 than Winnipeg. Like it probably would have been the same result. But the Blues are a good team. Obviously, Jim Montgomery's a good coach, but they're not performing very well. 19, 23, and 8 this season for 46 points. They're only 7 points out of the wild card. So they're like, no one's out of it yet. And that's kind of the problem when you look at the trade deadline and all that kind of stuff is like, is anything actually going to happen? Are there actually going to be any sellers? We're having this problem in the NBA as well. I talked about it with Dom off camera the other day. He's like, who are we going to be able to trade for? Talking about the Rockets. I was like, there's no sellers. So it's kind of what we're at right now with the NHL. Obviously, a few teams have already bought some players, like Calgary's kind of sold off some of their guys. And I don't think the Blues are an interesting team. It's like, is it Parayko? Is it Shin? Like, are they looking to move those guys? Are they going to stop playing them for a little bit so they make sure they don't get injured beforehand? Who's to say? Still a fun, stingy team to go against. Like these teams, this game is always 2-1. I feel like against Bennington. That's what it just feels like against the Blues. It's always a 2-1, 3-2 game, 1-0 game. Something gross, something slimy, just like we had against Columbus last night. I feel like that's what we're heading towards again.
Yeah, this team, they had difficulty playing against. The Blues are an interesting team because they can find offense in very sporadic moments. And I think the Stars, it's obviously going to be a challenge for them, but I think the Blues are dealing with a little bit more difficulties at the moment. So that could be an advantage for the Stars, but it's always an interesting team to play. And they did have that playoff position last year. They looked really good. Jordan Bennington, he's a guy on my fantasy team. So it's interesting to watch them and their coaching. They've had a lot of coaching changes as of recent. And so, you never really know which way this one could go, but they do see the Blues pretty frequently in the next few weeks. You have tonight, you have next week, and then I believe they see them one more time.
Yeah, it's like the first time in a while that we're playing a team that isn't on a hot streak. It feels like they're 4-6 in their last 10. They've lost 2 in a row so far. They're 7-14-3 on the road. That's the kicker right there. Is like they're not very good on the road. The Stars are obviously good at home, maybe not great right now. They just need to show out for the home fans, just like they did on Tuesday night. Tuesday night, obviously the fans, I don't think the fans were super into it until the Nathan Bastian 2 hits, little takedown scrum. I'm not going to call it a fight because it really wasn't. But once that happened, the crowd started to get into it a little bit. And then obviously the Wyatt Johnston power play goal, tic-tac-toe, wide open net, Wyatt Johnston power play goal. He's at 16 right now on the season. I think he's 2 away from tying Mike Modano for the franchise lead in power play goals in a single season at 18. Wyatt Johnston might just blow through that. He might have 28 by the end of the season.
Without a doubt. It's happening.
That's crazy that Mike Modano is the only one at 18 right now. He's one of the best hockey players of all time, one of the best American, like the second best American player of all time. Like, that's crazy. And then Jamie Benn is tied, I think, or maybe 17 goals in the 2015-2016 season when he won the Hart. So, or not the Hart, the whatever it is. I can't remember.
Yeah, Wyatt Johnston will be the one to get there. He's going to break that franchise record. I'm predicting at least 25 power play goals by the end of the season, without a doubt.
Let's just tie it tonight against the Blues.
That'd be fun. 2 power play goals for Wyatt, for Johnny.
I'd be great. Excited. I'd be delighted even. That'd be fun.
So fun. That would be fun.
Multiple power play goals in a game. That'd be fun by anyone. I'll take multiple power play goals. That'd be great. I know we did it against Boston, but yeah, the Blues are a stingy team. They play good on the blue line. They have a good goalie. I know they're not playing well, but they always play well against us. It's something like that. It's we've got the syndrome of like everyone going after the Panthers this year, and last year is like they're the Stanley Cup champs. Like everyone kind of they have the target on their back every single night, depending on who they play. I think the Stars have that weirdly because they've been to the Western Conference Finals 3 years in a row, and they've had the most wins in the regular season over the last three seasons. It's like everyone kind of keys in on Dallas when they play them. So they're always getting somebody's best night. And if we don't have our good nights or best nights, we're not going to win a lot of games. And we've seen that over the last month.
What I hope some of the positives will be for the Stars will be hopefully you're getting Mikko Rantanen back into that lineup. And then you would think that Jake Ottinger probably is going to get the start tonight against the Blues. I feel like I've really liked how he's played recently. Casey DeSmith, obviously fantastic. And I love how they've been rotating and switching things up. But Jake Ottinger, I think he'll be great tonight against the Blues. But yeah, you need Mikko back in there. You need that power play to get going. And you just got to stay out of the box, because if the Blues are able to find their offense, that's when I think it's going to be hard for the Stars. They've been giving up, in that Boston game, them being able to score the first goal. It's just difficult when you see the Stars give up that first goal because the climb back is really not there. That's the problem.
It is. Mikko Rantanen's huge for puck possession too. He's one of the best on the team. Him and Duchesne, I think, are probably the 2 best guys at puck possession once they get into the O-zone and making sure that stays on their stick or gets onto another Star stick. Another fun one, Wyatt Johnston last night. The little deke, the little whoop, where he dropped a guy. That was fun. That was cool. That was my favorite part from last night. That was good.
That was fun. You know what? We like seeing that out of Wyatt Johnston. He just can get a little feisty sometimes.
He does. That was fun. That was a good time. But yeah, getting Mikko back is going to be huge. Savannah, before we get out of here, do you want to talk about your experience talking to some guys that are going to be Olympians here in a couple of weeks? The other day? That was fun.
Absolutely. I did a one-on-one sit down with Jake Ottinger. I still will be talking to Roddick Foxa here in the next week or so. But Jake was great. We had a good 10-minute conversation just about the Olympics. He first told me, he was like, well, super excited right after the last game, which is on February 4th. That next day he's leaving for Milan. Him and 4 of the other guys that are on the Stars roster. It's 4 of them. I don't think all 6 of them will be at the opening ceremony, but Jake will be there in attendance. He's super excited for it. His whole family, he has about 12 family members that are going to come out to the game to watch him when they move up to the rink. And he's super, super amped for this. He loves the team that Team USA has. He's obviously been very familiar with them, playing with some of those guys in different tournaments, 4 nations. You know, you only have a few other guys that are now in that mix, changed from last year. But he loves the depth of this team. He says it gives him a lot of confidence in the net, having the best players in the world literally right in front of him. And he's just really looking forward to this opportunity. He's been to Italy before. He went there on his honeymoon. He was like, I'm just looking forward to the vodka spicy rigatoni pasta. And he was like, but that's really like Americanized. And I was like, yeah, it is. Like
100%.
But he was awesome to talk to. He's really excited for the games. And he gave me a lot of really good inside information. He is working on his goalie mask. That's the cool piece that I got out of it. It's going to feature a bald eagle. He's sticking with an American themed mask, obviously, for, keep it patriotic themed. But yeah, he thinks it's going to be one of his favorite masks that he has. He collects all of his goalie masks that he designs, and he thinks that's going to be the best one. And he's hoping for a gold medal to hang alongside it.
I hope it's a Eddie Belfour Screaming Eagle.
That'd be wild.
Because he already has the Ottzilla, I think is what they're calling it. I call it the Steroid Otter. That's my fantasy nickname on our fantasy league. But yeah, I would love a Screaming Eagle on that puppy. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like. He's really excited. He's been designing it for a few weeks. So we'll get a glimpse of that. First game for Team USA is on February 12th. And then we will talk to a couple other guys in that locker room who are also heading out to Italy for the Olympics. So I'll get a little bit more inside information in the next week or so.
Well, great breakdown from Otter there. If you want to tune into it, where can we find that, Savannah? You
can find that on either my Twitter. I have posted it on there, Sports Savvy, or you could go to d210.tv. We have it posted there. It's on YouTube. I'll relink it throughout the next few weeks as well, just so people can get some eyes on it.
Yeah, because obviously you're just giving the gist of the conversation and everything. There's a full 10 minutes there if you want to hang out with Savannah and Jake on that video. Go tune into that. Great job on that stuff. I'm excited about the Olympics. Obviously, we're still a few weeks out from that. I need my USA gear to come in, and I'm going to be – it's the 250th anniversary of the birth of this country in America, July 4th this year. 250 years, not a big deal. We got the Olympics here in a few weeks, and then we got World Baseball Classic right after that.
It's the patriotic year. Yeah.
I'm just so excited. I'm going to be wearing US gear all season long, all year long. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to get into it. But I would be really excited if the Stars won a game tonight. Like, really excited. That'd be fun. That'd be great. Love that.
Let's start with that momentum. We'll keep it going from there. 6 games left into the break. Get a win tonight against the Blues. It's going to be fine. Let's turn the season right here, right now.
It's going to be fine. I switched my water bottle again. Like, I'm trying everything. I'm doing my part.
Stone's really, really trying, you guys.
I don't know. Like, do I need to grow my facial hair back out? I haven't shaved this week. I think I might have to grow it back out. I don't know. I got to try something.
The superstitions are definitely there for you. That's for sure.
Problem. And baseball season's about to happen too. It's like only going to get worse. It's a real problem.
It's going to be okay.
I'm going to be fine. It's going to be fine. All right. Well, that'll do it for Clean Sheet Advice, Texas Hockey Podcast. Hit that subscribe button. We want to give away that Mikko Rantanen bobblehead on our YouTube at Clean Sheet Advice. Hit that subscribe button. Once we hit 250 subscribers, we'll give that away. You have to tune into that episode after we hit 250 to learn how to enter hit that subscribe button on audio platforms like Apple and Spotify. We've got video on Spotify as well. Hang out. Go to the Stars game tonight and be safe this weekend if you're in DFW or anywhere else in the country that's having a winter storm, like the exploding trees in Minnesota. Have you heard about that? That sounds fun.
I have seen a picture. That looks insane.
Sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I need a video of someone capturing the exploding tree. Please post it if you do. I need to see that for scientific purposes, aka I just need some entertainment while I'm sitting through this winter storm. Make sure you stock up on like groceries where you can eat it and you don't have to cook it, just in case your power goes out this weekend. Everybody be safe. Don't drive on the ice if you're not good at driving on ice, or have never driven on ice. Just don't do that. Stay home.
Exactly. Winter storm. We'll ride it out. Dalaska 2026. We're here for it.
So it's been 3 years since we've really had one. 2023, I think January we had one.
Yeah, and then that worst one was like 2021.
Yeah, 2021 was really bad. But 23, I got stuck in my apartment for a week and I had to like walk down to the 7-Eleven to go get like frozen foods because I didn't have any food left in the apartment. So that was fun, Just go stock up before shit happens.
Well, now everybody here in Dallas, I think they go into panic mode because I went to the grocery store on Wednesday, midday, and everything's cleaned out Wednesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dallas really does the most.
The Whole Foods parking lot was completely full when I went on Wednesday just to get groceries for the rest of the week. Really, it was planning to cook for the rest of the week, but it was also just like, we'll get a few extra things here and there if we need them. Completely full parking lot, which is already not a fun parking lot to go to if you go to that Whole Foods where I go. But, we're going to survive. We're going to be fine. Say hey to Savannah tonight if you're going to be there.
Yes, please do. I'll be running around. I'm excited. We'll see you guys there.
Yep. Go Stars. We'll be back on Monday with another episode with Dom to recap this Blues game and to preview the next Blues game because we're playing them again on the road on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. Tuesday, I believe. Got a few days off here. Stars play tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Clean Sheet of Ice. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.